How's it going, everyone? Your boy Corey here, aka Crasher, back with a new video, and we are talking about something that has really piqued my interest. This is going to touch base on React content and an issue that stemmed from it involving DarkViperAU and Moist Critical. I'm going to state from the jump right now that I do not have an issue with anyone involved as a person, but I will be discussing what I do take issue with, as well as the general arguments surrounding reaction content. Now, we do have an article on Dexerto that is titled, Moist Critical and Mizkif hit back at DarkViperAU over React content, he fell off. This article is a beautiful way to kind of sum everything up and catch you guys up to speed with what the actual issue is. Twitch streamer and YouTuber DarkViperAU has reignited the debate over React content, particularly on Twitch, but has also prompted backlash from some of the streamers, including Mizkif and Moist Critical. The React meta on Twitch is often a controversial one, as streamers are criticized for using others' content to fill gaps on their streams, while collecting ad revenue, donations, and subscribers. Some argue that the content is transformative, or that fans are still there to see the streamer, not the content. Others argue that it is effectively just stealing content. DarkViperAU posted a 14-page document on how the React grift works, arguing that reactors are all bad people, they explicitly exploit the less fortunate for their own gain. But some of the comparisons made in the document sparked backlash too. In one section, he writes, if you meet a reactor at a party, I suggest covering your glass or outright tell them you don't want them to fuck you because they seem keen to take a person's silence for consent. Moist Critical, who himself often streams React content, mocked Dark Viper's post, also highlighting that Dark Viper himself created React content as he discussed in the post. He does make valid points in the document, but it's overshadowed by this unhinged rant that he goes on, Critical said. Dark Viper's entire document is about this belief that every reactor is doing it for financial gain and to fuck small channels. And the logic he uses to make these points is deeply flawed and isn't substantiated by any real evidence. Mizkif was equally dismissive of Dark Viper's criticisms, pointing to his Twitch channel's viewership analytics and suggesting it was a motivation. This is why he's pissed, because he's irrelevant now. He fell off. You were at 4K viewers doing something, and you fell off hard. That's just it. Responding directly to Critical, Dark Viper said that most of what he said was untrue, but due to sincere misunderstandings as opposed to lies. In a 47-minute video response, Dark Viper accused Critical of trying to shape the narrative by misrepresenting what the document said and using his larger audience to give only his side of the debate. Dark Viper also attempts to clarify the comments about reactors spiking drinks at a party, explaining that it was only an analogy for the lack of consent often found with React content. React content is still a gray area in terms of fair use and copyright laws. It is generally thought that the amount of commentary or criticisms of the content will determine whether something is fair use or not. Okay, so now that we have ourselves the context on the table, allow me to elaborate with my thoughts. Firstly, I do understand that there is genuine frustration surrounding React content, especially on Twitch. I've even talked about that in previous videos of mine and even offered suggestions on how that content could be enhanced and make it better for fair use and for the viewers overall. There are instances where reaction content has gotten heat, and one such example would be in the 2015-2016 era, where there was the content creator known as Jinx, who blew up from watching other people's content. There was little to no engagement, no commentary, no criticisms, nothing. Another big example is the current React meta on Twitch. Not saying all streamers are this way, but some of the biggest streamers have just sat back and basically watched full-scale shows and anime, and they either stuff their face or barely engage with the content to even try and make it fair use. You can't get away with that on YouTube here. If you are going to make reaction content, go all out and add as much as you can to it. as someone who has done reaction-based content on both of my channels, I like to think my way of doing it isn't exactly a step in the wrong direction per se, because I not only engage with the content, I commentate what is going on, give my thoughts as it's happening, and even after the reaction, I have a dedicated section in that same video where I show imagery and talk over it, highlighting what stuck out to me the most and much more. I can appreciate when someone puts in a lot of hard work and edits the content if it's an uploaded video of said reaction content. What I don't appreciate is when DarkViperAU decided to essentially compare reaction channels / content to those who spike drinks at parties, aka those with intent to rape and sexually assault the victims they spiked. Dude, what the fuck? How in the hell did you come up with a comparison so flawed like this one? The two instances don't even come close. You also want to try and talk about silence being taken as consent during this comparison. Like, did you even think about how outlandish it is before even posting it? Clearly no, because what good points you did make are starting to topple over thanks to this weighty and stupid flaw you made. And this isn't the only one. You could have left that bit out and this would have been a much stronger case, but you not only painted all reactors / content with too broad of a brush, but you made a comparison that does not even come close to being related. Reaction content and rape are not comparable, even with you trying to twist it with the inclusion of the term consent. You accuse Charlie then of trying to take things out of context when it's right there in your own video responding to him where you took that clip and showed your words he was responding to. I get it if you are frustrated and dislike reaction-based content, but do not come all white hot at the world just because you think you can. And you yourself, mister, have done reactions in the past, so how are you any better? You also make another awful analogy and comparison when you compare reactions to slavery. My man, you need to chill the hell out. Like I said the first time around, the two do not even come close. You're comparing free speech to the ownership of humans against their will. You also come off quite smug in this part where you say, and I quote from your document mind you, keep in mind that reactors are not reviewers, analysts, documentarians, expert critics, or video essayists. They are people who present their first experience of a video as content, doing so with no idea if they have anything of substance to contribute as they haven't seen the content before. Here you act like you're the arbiter of who is qualified and who isn't. No one needs qualifications to react to someone, nor do they need to be qualified for free speech. That is what reactions are essentially. They're free speech. Are you trying to say that we aren't allowed to exercise free speech? Well, unlike you, I won't make such a huge leap with a definitive statement, so you can answer that for yourself. I get that some reactors are lazy and just do nothing and let the content be the entertainment. I get it, and I agree in that regard, but you went wrong with what I pointed out earlier, so it's very understandable that people are responding to you rather unfavorably. Maybe next time, go in it with a cooler head and stick to the facts, logic, and reasoning. Make your case, back it up, do not generalize, and leave it at that. Done. I think what really caused damage to your side, Viper, was your overall anger and your angry response to Charlie. Could he have worded it better? Maybe, but he pointed out various things in your article that were either significantly flawed or that he had issues with. There are other flaws to this 14-page essay that you made, but I don't feel like padding this video out to it being much longer than initially intended. Instead, I will link you all to the document down below so you can read it for yourself and come up with your own take on it and let me know what you think. Is he right? Is he wrong? Either way, I don't have an issue with Viper, just an issue with some of the stuff he said. That's that. So as of me editing this video, DarkViperAU actually came out with another video response to Charlie in this situation, and I will say, I appreciate the more cool-headed approach here and actually admitting he was at fault too. It takes a real man to admit where he faltered, and I can definitely respect that. And this video is a stark contrast to his other video, which came off as quite hostile as well as angry, hot-headed, irrational, obtuse, illogical, narrow-minded, and insensitive by the use of extreme comparisons to fit a narrative, which didn't exactly help strengthen his initial arguments against React content. However, Viper still decides to double down on his extreme comparisons to try and push a narrative. A narrative, I may add, that is up for debate, as React content is a type of content that is in demand no matter how it's done. React videos have been done for as long as I can remember. Now, I'm not defending objectively bad React videos, and believe me, there are some real bad reaction videos out there, but it's a matter of fact. If there wasn't a market for this type of content, then no one would watch it, let alone create that type of content. Now, as far as your original document is concerned, while words like rape and assault were never verbalized, it doesn't exactly take a genius to read between the lines and pick up the deeper, real meanings behind the comparisons that you used. Anyways, I hope you take something from this as well and strive to be better. Anyone is capable of improving and being better, and that goes for you. And that's it for the video, ladies and gentlemen, so I want to say thank you guys very much for watching, thank you for your time as well in viewing this video. Have yourself a damn good one, and I'll see you in the next video.